Hello, Cougars. Welcome to week 7 of At Home Learning. In this session, we will be reviewing the advertising techniques that were introduced in week 6, as well as being referencing the persuasive appeals that were spoken of in week 5. Those persuasive appeals, we have logos, which references facts and statistics and common sense and logic. Then we have ethos, which references expertise and knowledge and also ethics. Then we have pathos, which appeals to emotion, which could be humor, it could be anger, but anything that causes the reader or the viewer to sympathize. Those are the 3 persuasive appeals that we have learned thus far. And now we've moved into advertising techniques, which also use logos, pathos, and ethos. You'll notice that often if it makes you laugh, that's still going to be considered pathos. However, we're showing you in this week's lesson and in last week's lesson how advertisers try to sell their message. The end goal is for you to create your own product in week 9 and sell your product using one or many of these advertising techniques. So we're going to, in this session, you have session 1 for week 7 where you'll view the video lesson. In session 2, you will apply the video lesson skills by answering the quiz questions. Okay, so let's review by looking at an ad. So we have an advertising technique from week 6 that we're referencing. So which advertising technique is best represented by this ad? You have Taylor Swift with a Diet Coke. You have words that say extraordinary, entertain, and style with Taylor Swift. And then there's a contest. I'll let you answer. Can you think of it? Did you say avant-garde? If you did, give yourself a hand clap. Very good. Avant-garde is whenever the advertiser wants to make you feel special or distinct or different because you're using their product. So you notice the word extraordinary. Extraordinary Diet Coke, extraordinary Taylor Swift. They're hoping that you're going to get that same information, that Diet Coke is an extraordinary product and you will be extraordinary if you use their product. Okay, let's see if you can think of how the next advertising appeal from last week. So which advertising technique is represented by this ad? You have the McDonald's sign and it says over 99 billion served. All right, did you say, I think I heard someone say bandwagon? Yes, you are correct. Bandwagon is the technique that references popularity and acceptance by the crowd. So it's almost the opposite of avant-garde, okay? Bandwagon, everybody's doing it. Avant-garde, you're special because only a few are privileged to do whatever it is or to try that particular product. Okay, so let's get right into this week's advertising techniques. The first one we're going to look at is testimonial. A testimony is a person giving their personal recommendation or their personal opinion about a topic. So think about like in court when someone testifies, they are testing that this is what I know based on my personal experience. So in advertising, the definition is an endorsement by a reliable source. It could be a celebrity to persuade or dissuade someone to accept their belief or opinion. So if it's a celebrity, we need to make this distinction. It is not necessarily testimonial just because the celebrity is in the ad. It's only if the celebrity is actually using the product and making a claim that that product is good, okay? So can have a celebrity or can just have normal everyday folks in that commercial, but they are saying, either the celebrity or the normal person, that they believe in that product, okay? So you could have examples that you might know about whenever you've gone to a movie and you've told people it was good, or you've told them it was, not good, don't go see it. And the same thing with restaurants. So let's see what that would look like in a commercial. So we have a commercial for Amazon Alexa. You're going to notice two celebrities in that commercial, and I want you to note what's said about the product Amazon Alexa.
Baby!
Coming!
Alexa, turn down the thermostat.
Okay, turning down thermostat.
Ready. Here we go. What do you think people did before Alexa?
Alexa, turn the temperature down 2 degrees. Thank you, dear.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
Jokes. God, you think I know loads? Look at me.
Next.
News! Get your news here!
Alex, what's today's news?
Doesn't matter. It's all fake.
Al, play that song I like. Al, next song.
Alexei, tell us something interesting. Okay. The Earth is flat, and a witch stole his pants.
Alexa, miss, send this message to Prince Constantine.
Alicia, remind me to delete those tapes.
Yes, Mr. President. I ain't deleting.
Yeah, I don't know what people did before Alexa.
Alexa, play my favorite song.
Okay, so let's talk about that commercial that you saw with Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi and the Amazon Alexa. So based on the commercial, who would you say is the target audience of this product? So when you're looking for target audience, you need to think about who are they trying to sell the product to. We saw adults. We saw some children in this ad. But I would say that our primary target audience would probably be adults, because most of the people who were in the commercial represented the adult population. So there were men and women that were adults, and you had families, and then you also had people that maybe were not families that were represented in the ad. But you could look at specifically at the audience that Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi appealed to. So not necessarily a teen audience, probably because teens would probably have to rely on their parents, but definitely you would say adults would be the target audience. What's the purpose? Well, when you're looking at purpose, they're always trying to sell you something, so or persuade you about something. You think about what happens in the commercial. In the commercial, before Alexa, it seems like when you needed a song or you needed information, or the lady who tried to send a message and the dragon, or no, first it was like a hawk that swallowed the messenger pigeon, and then the dragon swallowed the hawk. So way back in those medieval times, the message was not delivered. So the purpose is to persuade us that Alexa has made life easier, made life better, and more entertaining. So which persuasive appeals are used? Did you laugh in that commercial? I know I did. I felt, so that would be pathos in that case. If you laughed or you felt any connection personally to it, that would be represented by pathos. So we have an answer here that explains this testimonial technique in it. So here's how I wrote it, and you can use this model when you're writing your own. So you want to start with an answer. You want to start with proof from the, you want to start with an answer. You want to follow your answer with proof or examples from the commercial, and then sum it up in a sentence at the end. So you think back to answer, prove, explain, follows that same format. Here it goes for you. The advertisers for Amazon Alexa use the testimonial technique to show how convenient life can be with Alexa. In the commercial, Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi are depicted using Alexa to control the temperature of their house. Ellen then wonders what life was like before Alexa. The commercial depicts scenes from history where human versions of Alexas humorously and inadequately attempt to offer the same help as Amazon's product. By displaying how Ellen DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi use Alexa in their personal home to make life easier, the ad suggests that Alexa can make your life easier as well. Okay, so notice how this would be testimonial because Ellen and Portia used the Alexa in their home and also in their vehicle. So that's why it's testimonial, because they are actually using the products. Hope that makes sense. And let's move on to our next advertising technique. The next advertising technique that is found is the facts and figures. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like a particular persuasive appeal? Could it be logos? Why, yes, it is logos. Good job, whoever answered that. So in facts and figures, you're going to have statistics and percentages and numbers that are used to convince you that the product is better or more effective than another product. But you have to be careful because sometimes the numbers are misleading. So if they are saying that their product is 30% more effective than the leading a brand, they didn't define what effective means. So that might be false. Okay, so you have to be careful with the numbers. So sometimes the numbers don't tell the entire story, and that's one of the reasons you need to be aware as a consumer. Okay, so let's watch the commercial.
When you hear the words human trafficking, you probably think that it's something that only happens to people in other countries. But the victims of sex and labor trafficking can and do come from anywhere, including right here in Texas. Texans, men, women, boys, and girls, are forced into a horrifying form of modern-day slavery every day.
Right now in Texas, there are more than 300,000 human trafficking victims and 79,000 minors and youth victims of sex trafficking. The Office of the Attorney General tracks down and prosecutes those responsible for this atrocious crime. But we can't fight this alone. Texas needs your help.
So let's put all the eyes of Texas on the fight against human trafficking. You can help by recognizing the red flags and reporting suspicious activity to the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
You have the power to save lives and put traffickers behind bars.
Someone's life is in your hands. Be the one to end human trafficking right here in the great state of Texas.
Okay, let's talk about this commercial about human trafficking. So who would the target audience of this product be? So men, women, boys, girls, they mentioned all can be victims of human trafficking, so that could be part of the target audience. But specifically, this is for the state of Texas. So they're talking about an issue in Texas, so you could also narrow that down to Texans, men and women, and young people who are interested in stopping human trafficking. So what's the purpose? The purpose of this ad is to persuade Texans to help the state of Texas fight human trafficking by being aware of the signs and recognizing that it's a danger. So which persuasive appeals are used? I actually thought that this ad used more than one persuasive appeal. I believe it used logos because it mentioned the 300,000 people who are victims and the 79,000 young people who have been victims of human trafficking. So definitely logos, but also the pictures and the music appealed to the emotion, to feel sympathy and to feel concern and to be motivated to do something about it. So you could also talk about pathos being referenced in this particular commercial. So how would we demonstrate that the facts and figures technique is being used? So you have an answer here, and this is a model for how you would answer in your practice. The Texas Attorney General's Office uses the facts and figures technique to educate Texans about the dangerous reality of human trafficking and how to help prevent this crime. In the commercial, so now we're listing details, the screen displays headlines and facts to illustrate the problem. For example, one headline reads, Texas human trafficking epidemic among worst in nation. The commercial's message is that citizens of Texas have the power to deter or stop this crime by learning how to recognize human trafficking and how to contact the authorities in these cases. And as I stated before, you can use this frame. It'll be there for in your practice for you to answer fully this question. Hope this helps you and hope you're having a great week. And we'll be back with another installment of advertising techniques in week 8. Have a great day.